Hey everyone, welcome. We're glad you're here. We're from northern Indiana, but we visit LBL several times a year. It's a very special place and one of our favorite national forests to explore, especially in the off-season when it's a lot less crowded. We are not experts by any means, though, and over the years we've encountered several things that we have questions about, and we're hoping some of you may have some answers. We are naturally curious people, so whenever we encounter something we're not familiar with, we have lots of questions. We'll group our questions into 4 categories: boats, cemeteries, heritage sites, and mysteries. So let's start with some boat questions. We were checking out Smith Bay Campground when we came across this.
There's a boat down there. Back up a little bit. Interesting, huh?
I wonder if it just got washed up there last night.
Yeah, because it definitely couldn't get out of there on its own. Let's go walk down there a little bit.
So we're guessing that this may have broke loose and washed up during the tornadoes that swept through here in December of 2021.
No, it's definitely been here quite a while.
I did some searching online to try to find information or a story, but couldn't find anything.
The SS Minnow?
It could be the SS Minnow.
I even tried searching the hull numbers in a Tennessee database all the way back to 1985, but didn't find anything.
It's all the windows are broken out. And
It's right on the edge of the campground, so I'm sure many people have seen it and checked it out before.
oh, it's been here a long time. Looks like stuff has been stripped out of it and everything. Creepy though, huh?
There's something else way down there.
I see.
If anybody knows how it came to be here and why it hasn't been removed, we'd love to hear that story.
Abandoned things, where you're not expecting to see. It'd be a lot weirder and more interesting, I guess, to just see it like in the middle of the woods somewhere. Would that be creepier?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this must have been up on the roof.
This wasn't the only grounded boat we came across while we were out exploring, though. On the other side of LBL, in a little cove off of Lake Barkley, we saw this.
That is grounded. Mm-hmm. That one could still be floating. That's got a boat behind, a small boat behind it.
We thought this one was even more interesting. We had learned previously how they use the dams to control the lake levels around Land Between the Lakes, and I believe they go up in the spring and then down in the fall.
That one's definitely grounded.
Like you said. The one on the right here was fully up on the shore, but it looked okay. So we're curious, did this happen as a result of the water levels dropping, or is there some other reason it would be here?
That's a pretty big boat.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't look that old.
No.
Doesn't look like it's been
Nice one.
vandalized or anything.
Again, we know nothing about boats. What do? Do they just have to wait until the water levels go up again to get it out? Does this damage the boat? We also have a few questions about the cemeteries in LBL. While out exploring, we often come across small cemeteries that aren't marked on the maps.
Wow.
We've read that there are over 270 known cemeteries in LBL from the time before it was Land Between the Lakes. So that led me to start searching for some sort of digital resource where I could see a map where all the cemeteries are. I did come across this book, which is a great resource and is free to the public, but I haven't been able to find anything more current and more interactive and searchable. If anyone knows of a resource, please let us know in the comments. There are some other questions we have about cemeteries.
Oh, it ends at a cemetery. Big cemetery back here, though.
A little,
Overlooking the
chapel.
bay. Yeah. They've got like tables set up over here.
The more cemeteries we came across in LBL, we started to realize how common these tables are.
So many of they have like the big tables like this. I wonder what they're for.
We've never seen this sort of thing up in northern Indiana.
So if anybody knows, we'd love to know what the tables are for. Tim says it's probably just for like a gathering, service, lay out food or things like that. Can't imagine what else they would be for.
I think this detail just stuck out to us so much because I can't think of any cemetery in northern Indiana that has tables like these, and so many of the cemeteries here in LBL have them. If they are for a repast after the service, I'm surprised we didn't see more outhouses as well. We've discovered lots of artifacts of the lives that were lived here when this was Land Between the Rivers. But on our most recent trip, we came across a couple of these signs.
Here's what it says. Respect the resource. Foot traffic only beyond this point. Heritage site.
We considered going for a little walk to see what was back there, but this was January and it was cold, windy, and drizzly, so we decided we'd leave it for another time. This is right outside of Newbie Cemetery, though, and so we're wondering if anybody knows what's back there. Is it worth the hike? And how many of these sort of hidden heritage sites are there? The last thing that we have questions about, for now at least, is the mysteries that surround LBL. I'm sure many, if not most of you, are familiar with the legend of the Dogman. Whenever we post LBL videos, we receive messages from people asking about the mystery. We had never heard the legend of the Dogman before we visited the first time, but since then, we've gotten several messages, and we've actually learned a lot about it from Anna, who reached out through Facebook to share her experiences with us, and since then, she's connected us with some resources that we'll share in the description. It seems like there's a lot more to the mysteries of LBL than just the Dogman story. It's all very interesting. We've never had any kind of a strange experience in Land Between the Lakes, though, but we wonder how many of you have. Do you think there's something to the stories? Personally, we don't put a lot of stock in the paranormal, but we would never discount somebody else's experiences. We know there's so much more in this world than what we see on the surface, and when you think about the history of LBL, it's not hard to imagine that there may be some unusual things going on here. Well, I think that's all our questions for now. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of LBL, and maybe we've piqued your curiosity a little. As the famous producer and author Brian Grazer has said, Life isn't about finding the answers, it's about asking the questions. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.